Okay, so now we're going to look at some basic lighting and rendering setups, and how to set up cameras, lights, and some very simple render settings to use for rendering to video. So let's get going. First things first, up here we have the basic render settings, and we're going to be looking at these guys. This stuff is for rendering to the cloud, which isn't important right now. So this button is the render setup, so let's look at that first. So we have the type of renderer we're going to use. So we've got an array to choose from. Max usually defaults to scanline renderer, but we're going to look at some progressive renderers, and we're going to look at iRay. So equally, the art renderer would be pretty good, but iRay has a few advantages which we might drill into later. The next thing to do is set our output size. So I want to go and render to HD video, so I'm going to choose that from the drop down list like that. Here we have our final output resolution, which is HD 1920 by 1080. But for the moment we're going to down res it things slightly to make things quicker, and we're going to choose 480 by 270. And then we can easily switch back later by pressing on that button to full res. So I'm going to click on the down res button like that, and then I can simply close the dialog. Yeah, that'll do. So now we've got that set up, I can do Shift F, which means save frame, and this is the actual frame that will be rendered by 3ds Max when we render. And you can see it's got these black bars at the top and bottom and this yellow frame. You can also choose show save frame from that drop down menu there by clicking on the view, whatever it is, perspective, it could be top or bottom, whatever. Great then. Okay, so now we've got our frame set up, we can add a camera. So the first thing I'm going to do before I add a camera is make a new layer, because it's good to keep things organized, because you can see there's a lot of stuff in here, and scenes can get a lot more complicated than this. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to choose this button, which is the create new layer button, and I just need to make sure that I don't have anything selected first. So if I have this plane selected, for example, when I create a new layer, that plane will get added to the new layer, which I don't want. So I can just drag that and put it over there, and then I'm going to slow double click on this to rename it. So we're going to call this cameras and lights. You can also right click to rename it, and also right click to delete and do other stuff with the layer editor. Right, so now we've got a place to put our cameras and lights. The important thing is that if I zoom in, this means that the layer is visible. This means that the layer is active, and anything I'm creating will be put into that layer. The next button along, this one, that means that the layer is visible and you can see stuff. So I've got some extra little layers where I put extra bits and bobs which I was using to model the scene up here, for example, and I'm just hiding those by clicking on the eye. Okay, so last thing then for our 5 minutes is to place the camera. So I'm in top view, or some sort of top-ish view. Shift F to toggle the save frame off. I'm going to go to the create panel, and I'm going to create a target camera. And once I've activated the button, I can drop the camera where I want it to be by clicking down, and then I hold and drag to place the camera target, which is where the camera is going to look. And it's good to drop the camera target somewhere around the main point of focus. And then I can press C to switch to that camera point of view. And you can see I'm poking through the floor. So I can simply now middle mouse drag to pan the viewport around like this. So it's just middle mouse drag. If I want to orbit the camera, I can use this button down here. So let's have a look at that. So Control 1. Let's try that again. Control 1. Right. These guys control the camera position. And we've got the pan control, which is activated at the moment. We've got dolly, and we've got field of view. So these are all very useful. So we can click on this button, we can dolly the camera, and this will move it around the point of focus, which is the target that we dropped. Like that. It's angle snapping, so if I turn off angle snaps here, then it'll be smooth. Let's put it somewhere there. I can dolly in, so I'm zooming the camera in here. Or sliding the camera in here is actually a better way of putting it. So I'm sliding along its point of view, and then I can change the field of view by doing this. So the camera is actually going to not move, but I'm making the lens wider or smaller, like that. And so there I'm zooming in, and you can see that here the camera doesn't move either. Right, last things. So I'm just going to get to the position I like this by various methods, moving middle mouse drag. And then the last thing to help is if you go up here, you can go select camera target, and I can simply move this around using the move tool. So once I've got my lens set up, I'm just going to middle mouse drag to move the camera around, and then drag the target to place that. Set my safe frame up a bit wider, I think. It's better. And I can check the lens also by going up here, selecting the camera, and I think actually what I want is a 20mm, so let's do that. Zoom out a bit, and that I think will be good enough for this demo. Maybe I want to point up a bit. Select the camera target. Yeah, that's better, a bit lower. Something like that I think is cool. Right then. Okay, so in the next lesson we'll play some light and click render.